Are we zenning for this? Okay. Nate's like,
I've got to in too.
I'm like,
but
he's
not
on Zen. Well, he said Zen. He's like, I'm doing like 78 Zen a day. And I'm like, is that even good for? He's like, I'm drinking a lot less alcohol. And I'm like,
it works.
But is that? Hey, Nate, fix your shirt. Nope, I hear it again.
Well, I'll just turn my shit back up.
Okay, well, as long as it's not going to be echo in the video.
It won't be.
It's kind of like when you talk to somebody on the
Brennan,
cell
what's it
phone and
sound
you
like
hear
over
yourself
there?
coming back.
Brennan, you stressed out yet?
I'm feeling pretty good.
Man, Dr. Joy Rich. I'm not going to give you like the original Dr. Joy Rich introduction because we've done this before.
Yeah.
So if you're curious about Dr. Joy Rich, you're going to have to go back about 10 episodes.
Am I doctor tonight or just
No,
Joy?
I
Okay.
just like saying
I'm just
I
checking.
went back too because I didn't know what you were a doctor of. So I went and dug into that
So you Googled
Do you use
me?
AI?
earlier. Yeah, I used it.
My man.
I do not YouTube now without using
Yeah.
it. Even if it's something stupid. Like I look
don't
up
even
something
Google it.
Harley and I'm like, just tell me something else about this video. It's awesome.
So were you impressed?
I'm beyond impressed. I'm telling people my friend made this. Like,
Well, I mean, I don't think I made it. Like Joy can relate to this. She casts visions. She waves magic wands, and that's what I did. And I presented, I guess you could say, I created a way to do it, and Vimeo created it for me. And everyone's like, "Why didn't you sell it?" I said, "Because I work for Nissan. It's intellectual property. It would have taken years. I would have had to quit Nissan. It would be a nightmare. What would have taken years, I got done in months." Now you know, but the rest of the
yeah,
world.
but it feels awesome because I know you guys.
Yeah.
So like, it's just really cool.
Joy and I just started working together. Matter of fact, Joy took me to the Buckle.
I dressed him.
Yeah, she dressed me because I had to go speak on this big panel for like 1,800 people in New York City. And then I met with the CEO and their lead developer, and I showed them because they were doing AI on the front, which was very basic. It was like creating transcriptions for you, and you could like read the screen,
Okay.
which is pretty common now. A lot of people don't know. I'm like, no, you have to use AI on the back end. Let me show you.
But she
they
took
built
you
it.
to the Buckle.
Well, so
To the
Nate
buckle.
Nate
Yeah.
is feral. He is self-proclaimed feral, and I agree with this. And so we're walking into these rooms, and he's dropping f-bombs
Yeah,
and
still do.
all these things. I'm like, Nathan, we got to do something about the outside, just to make people think that you know that you're as smart as you actually are. Because he's walking in very, very Irish, right? Very Irish. And so I said, "What do you like to shop?" He's like, "I like the Buckle," and I'm like, "Oh, okay."
These jeans came
So
from the bottom of
literally,
this
it
shirt.
was like me going with my son, and he was trying on all of his pants and pulling out the door, and I'm like, "No, those are too short. Yeah, those are too long. Yeah, those don't look good on you." And he's like, "Okay," but we landed on it. We fully dressed him, and he looked.
She's had
Smart.
clothes made for me.
I
They're
do.
embroidered. Like when
Yeah.
I show
Okay.
up for a governor's
what I'm
thing,
talking about.
like she's
Nissan
taking me to
logo,
places with like very high profile
Yes.
That's
people.
what I'm
and she's
talking
like,
about.
if you're going to be
Okay.
with me,
Yeah.
you're going to dress the part.
I mean, I was gonna tell him today, you're due for a haircut. Like, I don't know what's happening,
Let it
but like,
grow. My kid has inspired me.
see, I don't know how I feel about that because you're really sharp with your fresh haircuts. Like, I think that's one of your best attributes when you have one of your fresh haircuts because you have thick, nice, good hair, and not everybody does.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Noticed.
I'm
Thanks.
letting it grow. Well, and you haven't
I
complained about
I
my
feel-
beard
I
once.
feel attacked.
Well,
used to
I'm
be like,
trying to be
"Shape it."
quiet about your beard, but I feel like this scraggly beard thing that you're doing is just aging you. If I'm being
Well,
honest.
I'm trying to live
I mean,
up.
if you can maybe get to like a
I'm
full
tired of
fledged,
getting
but that's
ID.
kind of Santa Clausy.
Oh, well, whatever.
And you
know,
don't have the Santa Claus demeanor to go with it. Now, as a woman, I do like a shaved head man with a nice thick beard. Like, that's a good thing.
Dang.
Like, that's a good thing. Like, if you
Carlos.
How you
can't grow
doing,
it,
Doc?
hey, baby. If you can't grow it here, grow it here. But
Yeah.
see, you can grow it here.
So you think I
so
should
you
shave?
don't, at least down to the goatee.
Well, this girl the other day, she's like, "Don't shave it."
Well,
Like,
I don't know
it's
who
like
she is,
hit
but
and
she
miss.
doesn't have good taste. Why don't we survey this? This is a great question for
get
all
it
your
all.
female listeners. Now, I know you guys have pissed off a few women with
No,
some
no,
of your
no, no.
podcasts.
He's pissed off
Okay,
a few women.
so Nate has pissed off a few women in your podcast. I hear about it.
And I've gotten residual backlash.
Right. So I feel like the ladies of the podcast, they need to cast their vote. Beard or no beard? Beard, goatee. Like, what do they think about Nate's beard? Does it look like a scraggly homeless man or does it look like a sexy lumberjack? Like, what do you think?
I don't think I care what they think.
But I think we do. Don't you think we do?
I've looked like
I-
a child my
listen.
whole life, and I just tried to.
You're
look
gray.
my
You're not
age.
going to look like a
When
child.
the
You're
parents
gray.
fight, I'm just going to stay out of it.
Oh, this isn't fighting.
No.
Oh, I know. I know.
Oh, you know.
I know.
Have you heard?
We haven't never
No,
fought.
I can just picture.
We've only had like one or two
these
squabbles.
personalities
Oh yeah,
Oh,
we're both
man,
type
come
A. I have to humble
Come on.
myself a lot. I have to take, well, she's my boss now. Isn't that funny? We
No.
don't look at it that way, but I don't really look at any of my bosses as my boss. I like
So
to
Nate
call her
likes
boss.
to say that he picks all of his bosses.
I
is
do.
what he
I've picked
likes
my
to
last
say.
3 bosses. I did. I chose her too. The second day we met. As a matter of fact, Jeremy confirmed it. Remember in the last podcast with
He
Jeremy?
did.
He was like, Nate, there was like, what do you say? Year and a half. He didn't even know where I was.
It was with
We
me.
hitched our carts together and we went for it. And
Yes.
he's like, you just keep doing your thing.
We're partners. I wouldn't say we're like,
No.
yeah. He does refer to me as boss though, like in
Yeah, we just
kind of like a all right, boss. Whatever you say.
I'm her
boss.
driver.
He's my driver. He is my driver.
She's
He-
my secretary. I
I
use her
am.
doctorate all the time to make me like take my thoughts and organize them.
So here's the magic about this that I want to bring into this conversation. So I describe Nate, and I'll be curious if you agree with this. Nate is like if you stuck a fork in an electric socket and you just hung on, right? Like that is Nate when he is like full throttle. Do you know what I'm talking about? Yes. His child is nodding in the corner.
I wish we could record him right now.
I feel like I need to hold a camera of your head going up and down. And so when I would describe him to people when I first met him, they're like, "Who's that?" I said, "Man." So my boss on my second day was like, "You got to meet Nate Carroll," which was kind of funny if you know the whole story. And I said, "Man, this dude is like, you think I'm high energy?" He's like sticking a fork in an electric socket and hanging on. And so what happens though, you feel our energy. Our energy is just, it feeds off of one another. And then people gravitate to us. Like people will just figure out how to become part of what we're doing because they just want to be part of that energy. And that energy moves things. Like we don't just sit around and talk about stuff. It's like, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? Well, let's do that. Well, let's AI that. Oh, we have a plan. Okay, done. Like that's how we operate. And it's very fascinating. I think if we were anything other than coworkers, we would drive each other nuts.
Oh yeah.
Right. But it works perfectly for getting work done. And he tells me all the time, he's like, your brain is your best and your worst feature.
that's
It's
actually-
great for work.
Wow.
It's terrible for personal life. Because in work, I can like write the script, work it all out, ta-da, it's done. But then you flip to like when I'm Dr. Rich. Yeah, it's great. Everybody loves that. But when you flip to joy, I said this to him today, it's like I got to put the pen down. I can't write the script. I can't write the narrative. I have to put the damn pen down and leave it there.
And that's not easy.
Ooh, it's not. And so then I'm waiting, like, you going to pick the pen up?
So I
Somebody's
tell
got to
her
have
she
the
should
pen.
just date a hillbilly. She
Simpleton.
doesn't need to be, with some tech guru, somebody that's like high
Somebody
function.
with no
Just
brains.
somebody that's planting the world, keeping people alive, really providing value in the world, but doesn't give a shit at the end of the day. Just wants to chill, and then it'd be perfect.
Because he thinks that I would not want someone who could be intellectually stimulating at all. I just
Just
want
because-
some lump that's going to sit over there.
that is not true. Just
Well,
because
he's going to look at you in awe, like mostly because he doesn't understand the words you're saying. But she's so pretty.
But see, there has to be a world where you can have somebody who's intelligent and all the things, but who can also just be like,
Listen, some of the most intelligent people on the planet are the rednecks that I'm talking about.
I'm
They
not-
just
yeah.
don't care about all the
That's
other
true.
stuff.
True.
They want to have
That's
their
true.
beer at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe a chew of tobacco, maybe go to a tractor pull from time to time. But when the day is done,
shop at the
we're
co-op
not
for their
talking about
clothes.
this. You know what I mean? Because the problem is that our work is in our heads. Right? Their work, they dig a hole, they admire the hole. I always talk about that. Like I want the simplicity of that. But we're constantly working 24/7. I'm dreaming, I'm working. Like if you could watch me sleep, you would listen to me talk about the problems I've been trying to solve.
in your
the day.
sleep?
I talk about it in my sleep.
do you want to know why?
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you wanna know why?
I don't quit.
But do you want to know why?
Sure.
Because you don't have a person to talk to about when you
No,
get
you're my
home to
person
let
I
it
talk
sit
to.
down.
All I do is talk about work. That's
Mm-hmm.
it. And then so when I got these things that I take home at the end of the day, I don't quite have solved. I dream about them and I'll talk about it throughout the night. I'll just have conversations. Apparently, I wouldn't know this. People tell me this.
Wow, that's really attractive for
So-
whatever women are watching this right now.
Yeah.
Like he
Ladies,
talks
do
about
you
work and
also
sleep.
want a live stream of Nathan sleeping?
We could do
Let's
that.
see
Oh
what.
my gosh!
Isn't that funny?
Yes.
Let's choose his haircut, his
Yep.
facial hair,
Yep.
and watch him sleep.
Yep.
Because that's not creepy.
Do you know that AI can actually try out different hairstyles on you?
I do. I
They
don't
do it
use
for
AI
women
that.
all the time. We should try you out. Beard, no beard.
No. Could you flip that fan on?
I've put Elvis hair on me more than once.
Are you?
I
Is
don't-
that what your goal? Like, if you could pick, you'd have Elvis hair.
I would walk in looking like Elvis or Steven Seagal without the fat moo.
Really?
Oh man,
Do you feel like everybody wants the thing they don't have?
Yes.
I had the hair and I was way too into it. So I think God said, nope.
He smited
He
you?
smited the hair, but he had grace and gave me like a good head.
Beard.
You know,
A
like
good shaped
well, no,
head?
a good shaped head. Like
Yeah.
I'm not a cone head or a crazy like.
Thank God.
Yeah.
It
You have a
looks,
nice-
it looks
Oh, yeah,
right.
see,
bald.
look. Everybody,
know,
turn,
you
let,
know,
let,
shine.
yeah,
I couldn't
it's
imagine
good.
Shine
hair
on,
now.
It's good.
shine on.
It's good.
Isn't it funny because he wouldn't look as good with hair? You look great.
And
like
it's
that.
funny because I have people that have known me so many years and they're like, I can't picture you with hair. And then people that did go, don't go back to hair.
See,
Yeah,
I feel
it's-
like the
it's,
bald thing works for some
you know,
people, especially if you're like well
We're going to keep
manicured.
this out. You know?
Okay, there we go. Look, you just like come out to the world with.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they've seen it before.
Do we need to powder you a little? And
No, I like the shine.
you like the shine?
I like the shine.
Okay.
And see, you didn't even know what we was going to talk about.
Oh, I know what we're gonna talk about. We're just not there yet.
I got a few things on my list.
Okay. What was it,
Carlos,
Larry?
I've been saving something I haven't told you about.
Oh.
I hit you up about it at one time, but it's finally came full circle, and today was launch day.
Oh, yes.
All right.
Yes.
Can we talk about that?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So I don't want to go too much into it because it's really Joy's brainchild. I'm just the engineer in the background trying to herd cattle. No, I'm sorry, cats.
Cats.
But yeah, Joy, why don't you go ahead and tell us all about it?
Can I ramble from? Like, can I tell how we
Yes.
got to it, kind of
Yes.
thing? Okay.
No, first of all, let's just talk about what you do. You finally narrowed down in
I
two
have
words.
that. Yes.
Okay, go
Well,
ahead.
2 statements. So I get asked all the time, especially on like first dates and such. People are like, so what do you do? And I wish I could say, I'm a hairstylist. And just be simple, love hairstylist, best friend hairstylist. I wish I could be that. Everybody understands that. Everybody's been to have their hair done. And so when I start saying, well, I'm the manager of workforce development, community relationships for Nissan North America, they're like, huh? Kind of like that, right?
Yeah.
So I can't say that, right? So I have to like figure out how to package that down for, as you would say, the simple minds, so I don't overwhelm anyone. It's kind of overwhelming.
I'm not saying they're simple-minded. I'm saying they do not care about the fluff
Okay,
of
okay.
the world.
You can scratch
Go
that.
ahead.
So finally, the other day, someone said, well, what do you do? And it just hit me. And I think I was in kind of a, like, not sarcastic mood, but I just wasn't in the mood to talk. So I was like, I remove barriers and create opportunities. That's what I do.
Yes.
I look, what are the barriers keeping you from doing the thing that God made you able to do? And how do we remove them? And then how do we create opportunities for you to go do that thing? Period. So whether that's high school students, whether that's individuals who have been incarcerated and are trying to get back into the workforce, whether that's military veterans who are trying to transition, whether that's the 18 to 24-year-olds who are just kind of walking aimlessly in the forest and don't know where to go. My passion for people is to, what's your barrier? Let's remove it and let's create an opportunity.
And I want to say real quick, she had 3 goals,
Yes.
and we've accomplished 2 of them. You can talk
And
about
the
the 3
third
goals.
is on its way.
Third is on the way.
So when I came to, so my background is education. So I was a high school teacher for 15 years. I'm an educator always. And so as I came through full circle and ended up at Nissan, I told my bosses then, because they recruited me. And I said, if I come work for you, am I going to be able to wave my magic wand and like what I say we need to do, we'll do? And they're like, yeah. And I literally felt like a bird just like stretching my wings out like, oh my God, I get to fly, right? Because I've been working for the government for 20 something years. No hate to government workers, but it keeps you very trapped down. And so I told my directors at that point, I said, well, my goal is to open up 3 complete pipelines into Nissan, like your traditional K-12 education pipeline, your military veterans and that whole community pipeline, and then the justice involved, justice impacted, reentry, whatever phrase you want to use, that pipeline. When I have those 3 pipelines wide open to Nissan, then I'm good. Then I'm going to go tell everybody in the world how to do it. I'm going to encourage companies to do it. That's when I'm going to write books and talk about it. And this is what we're going to do. And that's how we're going to fix our education system, because industry is going to come in and pay for the teachers like we do right now. We pay for our teachers. They're on Nissan money, Nissan payroll, making Nissan 6 figures teaching in a high school classroom.
Industry-led
And
education.
we pay for it.
Wow.
Now, here's an exciting part. I don't know what you can put out in public
I
or
can
not.
put all of it out.
But
it's my podcast.
So here we do that. In Mississippi,
Hours.
now this is a full circle moment. We're paying their whole salary, right? And then in Mississippi, they have grant dollars coming back in from the U.S. Department of Labor. They're turning around and reimbursing us for every penny.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we're really not out any money. And the school is not out any money. Nobody's out any, it's taxpayers. But it's being used the right way. So like you have a skill, you have knowledge, you're willing to go teach. Okay, well, let's pay you your $100,000+ a year that you would make in industry. Because the problem now is nobody wants to teach for half the amount of money that they can make in industry. So you're only going to get people who are retired or they've got kids now or something has made them say, okay, I guess I'll be a teacher, right? You're not getting the people who are passionate about the work because we're not paying them. Now, I can only say that because I was a public school teacher for 15 years. I did it for the love of what I was doing, not for the paycheck. So we have cracked that code. We figured that out. So that is a practice that I want to become global. That industry says, oh, I need auto mechanics. Well, how about I go pay to put an auto mechanic to teach it? Oh, I need nurses. Oh, let me go pay a nurse to go teach them how to be nurses.
We're not teaching English or history. It's
industry-specific skills.
Right.
Infrastructure-based skills that you need frontline subject matter expert experience, 10 years or more, period, before you can go out and teach.
We refer to it as career and technical education, CTE. That's the phrase for it.
Yeah, it's an expert of their particular
Their craft. Mm-hmm.
No, that makes absolute perfect sense.
Yes. It's
Right.
too simple almost, right? It's almost too simple because as we do it, and I'm speaking across the country, people are like, why have we not thought to do that before? And I'm like, it's a great way. Too many people, too many hands are in the bucket. And so we've got the high school piece going. It's amazing. So I started I guess it was 2 years ago, I dropped this seed about working with an organization in Nashville to work with people who are coming out of incarceration and trying to reenter the workforce. And our leadership was like, no. Like, we don't want that liability. We don't need our name tied to that because if we do that and someone comes in and does something stupid, like, it's going to come all over the media. So I'm like, okay, we'll just put a pin in that and we'll just keep walking. And we did the high school pieces. Well, it just kept coming back and coming back and coming back. And so then I spoke on a panel in Clarksville. I wasn't even going to go. And this guy in the audience, he was the director for the Tennessee Office of Reentry. And he called me up like 3 days after. And he was like, I was sitting in the crowd when you were talking about those high school programs. And I'm wondering, could we ever do something like that in jails? And I was like, I don't know. Let's talk about this a little further, right? And so we just kind of started looking at it and investigating, and we realized that wasn't going to be the right choice because a lot of people who are on good behavior, who are improving themselves, they will get released early. So we were trying to figure out when would you have a program like that, and we're saying like in your last 6 to 12 months. Well, that's also when you could get released early. So we didn't want to like shoot people in the foot of like, hey, Carlos, you're so good, come get in this program to get a job at Nissan. Or you could go back home to your family, but you feel like, oh no, I got to stay to do this program. Like, that doesn't make any sense, right? And so I'm going to give Nate so much credit. And the guys that he's working with, Tom and Bill, they literally sat down and said, okay, what does somebody really need to know?
Can I say real quick?
Yep.
I actually I had reached out to you to get the information from so I scrubbed their website.
Yeah.
And I started an AI with that.
Yeah.
And then we had about 5 meetings,
Yep.
recorded every meeting.
Yep.
Then I took Gemba Konri, which is shop floor management, Japanese philosophy. And that was like the foundation
Yep.
of everything. And then brought in my old friends. I was just having a lunch with them one day. I was like telling them about it. And they're like, we want to be involved.
Yes.
And now they're their instructors.
Yeah, and they were like high-level guys at Nissan.
Oh, yeah, director level. Tom is.
And so,
Bill was a manager.
originally,
Bill Shaw?
yes,
He's one
he's
of our instructors.
teachers.
Are you
totally
kidding
Tom
me
Jones.
right now?
He and
No.
Tom were
Oh my God.
They
Absolutely
helped me
love
build it.
Bill Shaw.
So do we.
Wow.
Yes, full circle moment. You might have to have them on the podcast after they do this a little bit, see what they think.
Bill and Tom show.
The Bill and Tom show, which they were today. So originally they were like, they were going to give us this money to get 10 people through.
Yeah.
And we're like, just 10? So then we got to thinking, well, we got 3 months to get this. We had to have it spent by June, the rest of this grant. So we realized we could do cohorts of 10 and 6 cohorts done. So how about 60, right? And so then Nissan's like, if you get 60, that'll do the whole thing. We'll hire all 60, right? And then Yates was like, and anybody Nissan doesn't get, we want. Because for 10 days, you're showing work ethic. You're showing up every day on time. You're engaged the whole time. That alone is more than any resume can show us. Like, you can stand for 4 hours at a time. You can get back from your breaks on time. You can communicate. You can get along with people. So it's kind of like a 10-day interview.
before you buy.
It's a
Yeah.
trial for
Both
them
ways.
and us, because some of them may be like, I cannot stand 8 hours a day. I cannot do it, and that's okay because there might be some other job with a company that we can connect you with. But they're rebuilding their reputation. They're rebuilding their brand. They're rebuilding their image. They're building their confidence. And that's one of the things we talk about all the time. If you can build somebody's confidence, you will generate competence. Right? So these ladies who are stressing about this pre-employment test, which I did myself, thank
She
you
passed
very
it.
much.
I gave her a 30% chance of passing.
He was like, Joy, you'll be lucky if you pass that thing.
I didn't say anything like
Oh, he
that, but she was
did.
like, "What are my chances?" I said 30 to 40%.
Oh, yeah.
The
As I'm
average is
walking in to do it.
40%. But you had to take into consideration that I made those snarky remarks, and she had competition.
There was
and
men
so
in there.
I stayed the whole time. It's 4 hours.
Hard.
It's
Wait, the comp?
The pre-employment
it's-
test.
it's
You're
a-
like,
It's a
it's
4-hour
called the
exam?
pre-employment test,
and it's like 7 stations, and you're
yeah,
like,
you're just repeating over
yes.
and over.
Oh, so
physically
this
hard.
is a physical
Yes.
test, not a.
Yep.
It's physical.
Coordination.
It's
Okay.
physical and mental, because it'll be like,
It's an
put all these
assessment of your
washers and nuts
abilities.
and things together in this
Can you
order,
follow
and then take them
directions?
apart. It hurts your brain. But this joker was like, you're 30% likely to pass it, and I'm like,
Now I understand that a
Which
little
was
more.
true. Here's the reality:
Okay.
if she didn't have the competition there, it would not have been so easily because she didn't have like a
underestimates
barometer.
me. I compete with myself.
Yeah, I know it, but you wouldn't have had like she saw. Oh, they're ahead of me, and so she would just. She stayed right there with them. Matter of fact, you beat one of the
I
guys.
sure did.
Yeah. Now that's
Okay.
different from being on a
Okay.
floor for weeks.
So
at
then
a
this
time.
man, okay, I'm glad
You
we're on
brag
this
on me. Go ahead.
podcast. I'm glad we're on this
Document
podcast. So not only do we, okay, let me finish how we got to it. I'm going to come back to that. So not 10, but 60. Made the whole flyer, did the whole QR code, had 40 people immediately signed up. We've got all the cohorts full. What's happened now is other people who are just unemployed or looking for better employment are like, can we do this too? And so what I'm realizing is while this was designed for re-entry, we can use this the same thing for people in the National Guard who want a better job, people who have retired from the military and they're wanting to transition into civilian life. The Brennans of the world who are like, I don't know for sure if I would even want to do that, right? Let's come make a paycheck for 2 weeks and figure it out, kind of thing, right? So all of these different groups that I've been thinking all along, we want to make a pipeline for. This 10-day training is the gate to all of them. Because they can all come in and see, what does manufacturing smell like, feel like, look like, be taught enough of the skills to be able, and then you can make a choice of like, boy, this is too hard for me, or like, no, I kind of really like this. But it sets an equal playing field. So that's what that is, which is opening up. So I'm going to come back to what he did, because this is back to the man-woman part. I cannot tell you the issue that happens in industry, and he's smiling over there. Women will take these jobs making half what men will make, because we're told you work in healthcare. You take care of kids. You take care of sick people. That's what women do. We're nurturers, right? We're told our whole life, men deal with the tools. Men fix things. Men, right? So a lot of my battle in the high schools is trying to convince young ladies to take our advanced manufacturing class, because they're like, it's all the boys in there and they're going to make fun of me and I don't know if I can do it and blah, 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 right? Girls are just as capable. And so so this guy razzed me all the way to the test. Then when I blew it out of the water and the guy was like, oh my God, you were so fast, razzed me some more and said, well, you can pass the test, but you'd never be able to work this job. This is what and he still said it again just now.
Because she's a woman.
Hold on just a minute. And so the guys who are the big bosses said, as a matter of fact, and the guy Mike Rady said, as a matter of fact, we specifically like to hire petite women because we have certain jobs that they can get into the spots and their little nimble fingers can do things that these big giants can't do. So even with that man saying, oh, we would love to have a nimble woman, he's still rolling his eyes and looking at me saying I would never survive it.
I'm not generalizing women.
He is.
There's plenty
He's
of
generalizing
women out there
women.
that would smoke men. It's your background. You are not acclimated to this environment. You're prissy.
Is he not digging his
Hey,
Joking.
Where's
But
that shovel?
she has
We
a
put that
doctorate.
shovel away.
Oh,
Like
because
3 weeks ago.
I'm sorry, Carlos. Did you hear what he said? She has a doctorate. Because I have a doctorate, because I'm intellectually successful, I'm not physically
No,
capable
I didn't
of
say
doing
that.
this work. What is it?
I
What do you
was
mean I
saying
have a
that
doctorate then?
You wouldn't last long term because you have so much potential for other things. You're like, I am not doing it.
Oh,
I
he's
had the
digging.
same. Let me tell you, I fall in the same category. I tried production 3 days. I went into production. My dad fired me for literally sweeping dirt under a rug. I swear to you, these girls were waiting on me. I was a kid. I was 18 years old,
Brandon's laughing.
and I had to close, and I sweep. And I couldn't find the dustpan. And I was like, I'll get
cut
it tomorrow.
corners.
You know those rugs, those runners when you
Yes.
walk in the store? And we had one back we called the storeroom. And I was like, I'll just put
Cut
it there.
corners.
Nobody will see it. And my dad finds it and
Uh-huh.
fires me. And I'm like, well, screw it. I'll go get a real job. And I did. I went and hired in at it was a manufacturing plant. And I went for 3 days. And I thought, what am I doing? This is not for me. And I went to lunch and never went back. I didn't ask for a paycheck. I didn't think I deserved one. And I went into maintenance and all these other things. So that's what I'm saying. It's not for everyone.
So I'm going to correct your mindset, though. Telling me I can't do it is different than me choosing
Fair
that that's not what I'm going to do. So that's with anybody in life. If you say you can't do that, why are you doing that? Why are you telling them they can't do something?
I just would, if I could reframe it, I would like to say that you wouldn't.
I might not. I might choose not to.
And that's,
But
tomatoes,
choosing
tomatoes.
no. Choosing not to do something versus you can't do it
It's
are
true.
two different
I'm not going to
things.
disagree.
Can I get a witness over
I want to
here?
explode
I'm not
in
gonna
here right
disagree.
now.
Come on with
But
it. Please,
what
Abby.
Carlos.
she's saying is that she's fully capable
Yes,
of it,
I agree.
and while being capable, may or may not choose to proceed.
Correct.
And I'm in the
Which is
same.
fair.
Of course, I'm going to tease you, but
I like having
it's
four
not
people
for
in
everyone.
here, Chuck.
Manufacturing is not for
No,
everyone.
it's hard.
Repetitive
No,
tasks
absolutely.
are for some people. It's really healthy. They enjoy it, and I wouldn't like my brain's just not made for that.
Mm-hmm.
My physical abilities for building things, but my brain is also for building technology and
Right.
Well, it goes back to what we talk about all the time about aptitude. So, literally, when God is forming you, He is creating your aptitude. What are you naturally good at? It's going to be different than what I'm naturally good at. It's going to be different than what Nate's
Thank
naturally good
goodness.
at. And it takes all of these different aptitudes and interests and skills to make the world, right? And so that's one of the key things we're always trying to help people figure out is how did God wire you? How did He make you? The things
like
that
that.
the things that you do that you really enjoy, have you ever thought about how you can use that in work or even just in giving back? We talk a lot about people moving from a learner to a legacy model. So as you're coming up, you're learning. And then at some point, you're going to know more than the group behind you. Your job is to turn around and teach them while you're still learning. And then you're going to grow and you're going to get to the point like a Bill, who now he's retired. And he's like, I have all this knowledge to share. Now he's building his legacy back, which he's been building his legacy all this time. But when you intentionally start saying, how do I take the knowledge I have and share it with other
Serve.
people to help them?
Absolutely.
Which is what this podcast is about,
I'm
right?
serving. We're serving.
And we talk about, I say this all the time, once you know better, you have to do better. So we're constantly learning. And then once you've learned something new, you're held to a new standard.
Got to be a lighthouse.
Yeah.
Share
Absolutely.
it with everybody else.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was excited about telling
That's
you as
super
we
great.
started today.
I love it.
Yeah.
And I love that Bill's a part of it.
Yep.
That man knows retirement. He knows how to relax. He knows how to travel and enjoy
Mm-hmm.
life. But he is no bum by any means. That
He's 3
man
years
is
sober as
always
well.
looking to. Yes, he's sober as well. He's always looking to grow, to do something, to find a hustle. I love that about him. He does not slow down, though he enjoys life.
Yeah.
Like that's goals.
He was
That's what I want.
He was teaching today. I was just kind of not eavesdropping, but just kind of listening. He literally was lining out like, what is in your next 10 years? This was really brilliant what he did. And he said, the oldest person in my family has lived to be, I think it was like 83.
Correct.
So he starts doing these little tick marks, like he's 61. So he's like tick marking between 61 and 83. And he's like, so that's roughly 22 years. If I live to be as old as the oldest person, I have 22 years still left on this earth, potentially. What am I doing with that? Whoa. And when you're looking at all these little tick marks, you're like, what am I doing with that? And so these people are sitting in this room with their little tick marks of how old they are and how old the oldest person in their family is that they can think, what are they going to do with all those tick marks? I mean, I didn't interrupt him, but I thought, ooh, how many tick marks do I have left? And what am I doing with those
Yeah.
tick marks? It was very powerful. I
really
don't even
like
know
that.
I don't even know if he realized how powerful that was. I haven't got to talk to him after it,
I
but I
felt-
was like,
Yeah, they both did great. I'm so excited. They have so much to offer in personal development.
Yeah.
And it's more of a behavioral development than it is skill development. Either you have it or you don't. But the other part, communication, which is what kills every relationship, it also hurts your job. So Gimba Connery is about communication. It's about respect. It's about being patient. It's about speaking up when something's not right and understanding it's okay to be yelled at. That's just part of it, you know?
Right.
Don't take it personally. Feel your feelings. That's okay. It means you care, and then move on. Learn your lesson.
Tom even he was role playing, but not exactly.
We was creating situations like, for one, 13 minutes, be back on the line. The line's running with or without you. If you're not on time, you're done. And so Joey was back there talking to him, and he'd just let it go. He didn't say a word. And then he walked up, and he goes, I don't care if you're talking to President Trump. The line's starting with or without you. Get in your spot.
He did.
Wow.
He did. And then they had some activity, and he'd given them multi-step directions.
Yeah.
And they got going, and then they said, now, what was step 2? And he was like, you don't know what step 2 is? And I was like, whoa, boss. But I just kind of watched
Well,
it
they
all.
spoke up and said, well, what's step 2? And he was actually happy that we don't know.
Well, it came full circle because I thought, boy, he's an asshole.
Oh.
Like, I mean, I literally was like, okay, I'm keeping my mouth shut. I'm just going to stand here on the outside.
No, it's the
But
reality.
it came
It's the real world.
full circle. And these individuals were so transparent because he was like, how did you feel when you asked what the second step was and you didn't know? And they were like, I felt dumb. I felt ignorant. I felt incapable. I felt, what was the word? I wasn't demoralized, but it was like it made him feel small. It made him feel crappy. And he was like, you don't want to feel like that, do you? You don't like that feeling, do you? And they're like, nope. So what are you going to do different? This one guy's like, if you speak, I'm writing it down. And he's like, well, that's a good first step. You know, so it's almost like he had to make them feel that yuck feeling.
The feeling is the most important. You don't have a point of
Yes.
reference without the feeling.
Yeah.
I'm constantly, this whole podcast
But
is built on that.
They were so transparent, and they're so they see this as a huge opportunity. And I think it was one of the women said, well, I was so scared, like, this is what we're trying to prove to you guys, that we can work for you. And if we can't even remember the second step, like, you're not going to want to hire us. So there's so much on the line for them, so much pressure. And so I'm glad I just watched it and then saw it come full circle. That's not a strategy I would have used because that's not how I am. But he said, I am nice compared to a lot of what you're going to deal with. And you don't need to take it personal. It's business. He says it all the time. It's business. It's not personal. It's business.
You
it's not
become
personal.
thick-skinned.
And that's what he's like. When the line's running, it's like, get out there and go. You go. You don't sit there and cry about it and get your feelings hurt.
The cornerstone of our business, and every business, if you know it or not, is called Kaizen, which means constant improvement, which means you're getting critiqued constantly or you're critiquing something, and it's something you need to get comfortable with. This whole podcast was built on personal growth, overcoming, self-overcoming. So we're all just very excited about the possibility of helping others understand that you're not supposed to get it right. Mistakes are inevitable. Embrace them. Move on. It's okay.
Learn.
Yeah, feel your
ask,
feelings
etc.
and
then-
don't repeat it.
Yeah.
And what he's doing is that confidence is building
Yeah.
this pride in them about their work, so
Yeah.
they want to
Yeah.
do better.
Yeah.
It's
Confidence
not
is
just
a
a
result.
command.
So
There's
they
a big difference there.
they have a phrase, Tom and Bill, that they've decided that it's decide who you become. Is like their theme. And so we were talking about t-shirts. I'm all about a t-shirt, right? And so they decided, because I wanted everybody, okay, we'll get you one. I wanted them to have like a, like a graduating, like if they, they've made it through, and then like the day they go take their big test, like they all got matching shirts. It's kind of like going to a fair. And so they decided that the word, that they didn't want a big logo or whatever, they just want the Nissan logo and the word decide. And as I thought about that, that's not the thing I want to talk about in just a minute. But as we're talking, this comes up. You decide who you become. You decide if you show up to work. You decide the attitude that you have. You decide, is the glass half full or the glass half empty? And so as I saw Nissan, I'm like, man, we all need those shirts, because if we just think about every facet of our life is a decision.
Yeah.
It's a decision. Now, we don't always get to control what's happening, but we can control how we react to it. We can control our attitude about it. We can control that is a decision and control. Those go hand in hand. And so I loved it. I can't wait to get the shirts ordered and start seeing people walking around with Nissan. Decide. We can decide on a Nissan, right? But it's such a powerful statement, that one word, decide. We are giving these individuals who've made some bad choices the ability to decide what their future looks like. The power from that.
I want to say that we've all made bad choices. We just haven't all been caught.
Yeah.
I tell them all, we're all
1000%.
criminals.
Yeah.
We just haven't all been caught.
Yeah.
And but once you get caught, the recovery process through that. So Bill and Tom went to a re-entry simulation that the state put on, and they they praised it, which I was not expecting anything good coming from government. I figured it'd be a little clunky, but they bragged on it so much. But how difficult it is to get back in the workforce, to get back into society, it's really challenging.
Wasn't Tom like a 17-year-old who failed a drug screen, who had like multiple things happen, and he was just like, I can't catch a break.
Are you familiar with any of this?
Yes.
Re-entry
Yes.
simulation.
It's a little different.
Isn't it funny that you're actually a part of it and don't even realize
That's
it?
Right.
full circle part
it's
of it.
incredible. But it's giving people purpose and their pride back. And I talk about that at graduations or when I go to fundraisers for the veterans program. You come in fairly broken. You're at a low. You've gotten a DUI. You've gone to jail. There's a list of charges hanging over you. There could be jail time hanging over you. And most of the guys or the people involved are, well, I'll try this program rather than go into a cell. And then you see the moment the spark ignites within them. And because there's nothing but shame and there's nothing but I screwed up, and they're sitting in that. And then all of a sudden there's these people that are giving you these tools and they're teaching you the root causes of what got you here. And then it's decide, do you want to live in that? Do you want to stay in that? Or are you going to control what you can control, like Joy just said, and then make better decisions to get out of it? And as they start feeling better, they start walking a little taller, dressing a little better, acting a little more accordingly.
Yes.
It changes the person.
Yes.
I'm
You
so
give me chill
excited. I
bumps.
wanna
I
talk
chill
about this.
bumps. Listen to you talk about this.
So this is not surprising to me, but witnessing it firsthand.
Yes.
So we went and interviewed 5 ladies
Yes.
at a women's prison last week.
Yes.
The 4 of us.
Yes.
And listen, Tom and I pulled off to the side. I was like, bro, what I would give to be as happy as any one of these ladies. They're in prison, not jail. They're in prison.
Yeah.
Done 5 years, multiple years, and they've been through a 5-week program to another version.
To career
of
readiness, like a reentry.
Yeah. And we interviewed all of them. They were so inspiring. We all were like, we would hire every one of these women. Their happiness was pinging off the chart. And Tom's like, dude, I've got to drink whiskey to be this happy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, me too. Isn't it so wild that
It's their perspective.
that's why I'm always jealous of like third world countries, because it doesn't take much to make you happy. Just a little bit of hope.
Well, this one woman said, I've been in here for 5 years. And she said, being in here, the noise got quiet around me. And I was able to like hear myself and look at myself and see what I needed to grow. And so she has taken, she says, I'm better mentally, spiritually, emotionally, all of these things. And so I have taken these 5 years to work on myself and to improve. And I almost cried like so many times in these interviews because I just wanted to give her a hug. Like, you are awesome, right? If more people would do that, because I look at jail as like, it's your punishment. You just got to suffer through it. And then when you start flipping the script of like, this is an opportunity. That's that decide part. Is it punishment or opportunity? I'm getting emotional almost. Right. She was like, I took that time and and the noise got quiet and I was able to focus on this. And I've never heard that perspective. I've not really been in that environment. So to hear the ladies and like their hope and their excitement and they all talked about having a good therapist and the importance of a good therapist and how they process things now and what they've learned. It's almost like we all need that. We all need to be knocked down just a little bit, just so we can come back
important.
from it and value what we have and understand how getting quiet sometimes is the right thing to do.
Perspective
Yeah.
and then staying focused on that mission,
Yeah.
because the unhappiness creeps in when you start
Complacency.
getting complacent and comparing.
Comparing, that's
Yeah,
what I'm
I
saying.
agree.
They get out and they go, man, look where I came from. The moment you forget where you came from and you start looking at the grass is greener on the other side, it starts to shift and you've got to refocus.
I didn't get a chance to drive this point home, but I wanted to like let them know that it's easy now. It's going to get hard when you get out, because then you have options, because right now their days are planned for them. You know what I mean? They're very limited in their options. Imagine being in for 5 years, the last 5 years, and coming out today in 2026. We're in the upside down world. I can't. They were literally excited about, we heard cell phones have changed. I'm thinking, oh, you have no idea.
But you know what? They
how-
knew what AI was, and they've been using it in there to learn. So they're not as far off as we
I know,
think.
but the world is so chaotic. Everybody's so down and depressed. It's going to be easy for them to accidentally get around people
Well,
that are going to drag them
the
down.
thing that I think
so
of-
it's going to be difficult for them.
the
They're
thing
going to
that I
have to
think
surround
about
themselves with good mentors.
Is that right there?
you go.
So the world's not necessarily so much worse. It's, do they have a network? Do they have? So I was so excited when you said you were volunteer for the Veterans Recovery Court. I'm like, if everybody who's been through that turns around and becomes a volunteer, you will have an endless support system. If everybody that ends up going through this reentry program that we have and they go to work for Nissan, and after they're successful, they raise their hand back and say, "Ooh, I'll be a volunteer." And that might be as simple as on your first 6 weeks of work, I sit with you for lunch.
I've never
You know,
been to
I'm the person to meet you at the gate to help you get to your plate. And that was the piece that's a good thing for the audience is people say, "Oh, well, Joy, you're just in a role where you get to do these things. You get to change lives. You get to do this, blah, blah, blah." I hear this all the time. Everybody, if you will just look around you, there is an opportunity to change somebody's
Everybody gets
life.
to
Whether
decide.
that's just mentor someone, to help someone, to help the single parent next door, to whatever it is. If people will just look around, it's, the opportunities are there. And that's the key for people who are trying to transition back, is they've got to have a network. They've got to have the mentor. They've got to have the person that when they're having that moment, they can call and you'll talk them off the cliff and tell them it'll be okay.
right.
I've never been to prison, and I still apply these tactics in my life. You read the saying, you
have to have a tribe.
You're the sum of the 5 people you surround yourself with. And I talk about my circle of influence is very small, and we have to go through some shit for you to be in my circle of influence. You got to earn your way
We're in
in.
his circle of influence.
You have become in my circle of influence, obviously. So have you, but it's very small, and I surround myself with amazing people. And these people are hard on me. I do not like anyone in my life that doesn't look me in the eye and say, "Dude, you're a retard."
No,
Quit.
we don't use that.
Yes,
I don't
we
like
do.
that. No,
Carlos,
I'm not
we
going
use
to use
retard.
that. No.
While I wouldn't say that to you, Joy,
No.
he very much qualifies.
Nate,
but
that was
like
pretty
in a
retarded.
in a genius
we can
way.
choose a better
But like in a
adjective of
genius
all
way.
that,
What do you-
all the words. Why use an
I have a
offensive
reason-
term
I
when
have
there's
a
a,
reason
I
to
know,
remember.
and we've discussed it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. So he and I, even just yesterday and today, I've got some things I'm kind of processing. And the beautiful thing about me, and we are not judgmental of each other.
No.
Like at all. I mean, we might be like, "Oh, you're doing that again." But we do not cast judgment. It is probably the purest friendship relationship I've ever had in my entire life.
I am her big brother, and she is my big sister.
With no judgment.
Literally.
And we don't tell mom or dad anything, right? And so I'm like, I know you don't want to hear this, but if I can just blurt it all out to you one time and you can tell me, am I crazy or am I whatever? He's like, "Oh, I don't have time for this." I'm like, "Well, you're listening because I
Just
listen to
today,
yours."
she was running down a scenario, and I said, "You messed up. You're in the wrong." And she didn't agree. She's like,
And I was
5
not in
minutes
the-
later, she goes, "How did I do?" And she sent a message, and I was like, "Good for you. You nailed it."
So what Nate is teaching, what he has taught me though, and this is kind of that male-female, I say male-female dynamic. I guess it could be any gender. But a lot of times women tend to kind of cower down and like not stand up for themselves or like hold their ground, especially if a man's being, you're just like, okay. Well, in business, I can command a room of men. I don't even blink about it. But then in my personal life, if a man says blah, blah, blah to me, I'm like, okay, never mind. Just kidding. I didn't actually have that thought. I don't know what's wrong with my brain. I don't know why it switches from
It's
Dr. Rich
rejection.
to Joy.
Your fear of rejection.
But here's what it is. I actually know what it is because I've done some work on myself. It's little girl Joy gets activated.
yeah.
When that man speaks to me in that tone, it's like my daddy just got on to me. Oh, yes, sir. No, sir. Sorry, sir. Right? Whereas in work, it's grown woman, Dr. Rich. And so I've at least recognized that. And I would say that's most people. There is your little kid version that gets activated when someone pokes you, and you're like, oh, right? Yeah. We don't mean to do it, but I've actually been like really sitting with myself a lot. Like, Joy, why do you do that? Like, and we've had some he's not nice, which I'm sure you know that.
I'm not nice.
He's not even, and there's been times where I'm like, you know what, you're wrong, and that wasn't nice. And Brendan's smiling because he knows. And sometimes Nate will even come back and he'll be like, yeah, I was a little rough on that one, right?
I don't mean to be.
But the reason I don't cower to him is because we have that trust with each other. And it is in the purest of best intention of, I'll say things to him too, like, you cannot do that to a woman. You cannot say that to, no, you can't say that word. You cannot call me a bitch. You cannot whatever. Like I draw these
She
lines.
did. I tested it.
I
too.
draw these
Hey,
lines.
bitch. And she's like, "What'd you say?"
No, sir.
I'm
no.
like, well, I test everybody with it. I call everybody. I call you. I'm
Nope.
like, hey, bitches, I'm
Nope.
gone, you know.
Pretty sure you've never called me a bitch.
No.
Well, you know what I mean. I would do it.
No.
All right, bitch, I'm out.
But
But see,
And
people.
she's like, you're not doing that.
No.
And I was like,
but that's
good
good
for you.
because you're setting a tone.
yeah. So I
Yeah.
can do that with him, but I won't do that with somebody I'm dating. What in the world? Like, why can I be so?
Let's
and-
go, Dr.
Isn't
Joy.
it? So I'm like, there's a new woman foreman, right? She's coming out of her shell. And so just even today, that's what I showed him. I'm like, look at what I said. Like I was kind of being, not gaslit, but kind of like, like I recognized that I did not handle the exit of a relationship well about a year ago. And I didn't owe this person anything. And I wasn't doing anything. I just was kind of like, thanks, but no thanks. I'm moving on. This is going to get me to the topic I want to ask you guys about. Okay, so we were talking about second chances with employment. It makes me think about second chances with people in your life, whether that's a parent that did you wrong, a sibling, an old girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever it is. When is it appropriate to give a second chance and when is it not? If somebody is coming back in for a second chance, what should they do? What is appropriate for them to do to earn your trust back? If they didn't really do anything wrong, you just didn't like the fact that they left, do they have to cower down or should they just humble themselves and say, I ended this, probably wasn't the best way I ended it. I could have done it better. But here we are, and I'd like to explore this conversation. And if you're interested and I'm interested, should we move that forward?
And it could just be a matter of closure.
It could be a matter of closure.
Yeah.
It could be a matter of,
So one second.
Oh,
Hold
sorry.
on, hold on, wait. Is it set on the screen?
Thoughts
Okay,
I
I'm not
wanted
going to
to
touch
bring it
anything.
anyway.
But if it does anything, just I apologize. You may see something over her face. My
OMG, Becky.
It won't happen next time.
Well, we're getting into the quality of what I really wanted to get into.
Okay.
So I asked the question to Carlos, and I haven't asked it to you yet, but you've been witnessing. And I'm going to like keep it vague to protect the innocent kind of thing.
Sure.
But there are people who will exit your life. Maybe it was like right person, wrong time. Maybe it was wrong person, wrong time, right? But people do circle back into your life. You've experienced this too. Yes. At what point is it where you just need to be like, nope, don't come back. You're not good. Or what does that person have to do to authentically prove, maybe that's not the right word, I've grown, I've evolved, I've seen that the way I handled that wasn't what, I'm going to apologize, I'm going to own it. And if it's nothing other than just closure, I'm okay with that, right? I want a male perspective on how you believe second or third chances should go.
I'm going to answer this in two parts, and the first part's going to be related to your work in this program.
Okay.
Because
What does that got to do with the relationships? Go
Second
ahead.
chances. We're talking about second chances.
and who you allow in your circle or not,
Mm-hmm.
right? We control our controllables. One of the things they teach you in all of those programs, not just the veterans program, DUI, drug court, all of that, is you're going through your root causes, you're becoming your authentic self, you're learning right from wrong, you decide, right? You have to encourage these people. And I hope you put this in your curriculum somehow, even if it's a speech at the end or the mentors. You need to watch your people, places, and things. Just like an addict needs to watch their people, places, and things. When you are first coming out of, let's use sobriety as an example, you don't want to go to the bar that you used to hang out at with all the same people you used to hang out with to do the exact same thing, but say, I'm okay with that. That's not a healthy place for you. And chances are you're going to be encouraged to do the wrong thing. So you have to make a conscious choice. That person isn't healthy for me. That location isn't healthy for me. I'm 3.5 years in. I won't walk into certain places in the city. Not because I'm afraid of my self-control or I have any desire, but because I know that's an unhealthy place with unhealthy memories. I don't even
No
want to give
triggers needed,
myself
yeah.
the chance to be triggered.
Yeah.
Okay. So in your program, I hope you encourage that as well.
Before you move on too far, it wouldn't be responsible for us to some degree because we're not trained in that, right? We're trained in helping you succeed at work. I would be cautious to be giving personal development. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I
that's
think
on you
there's-
guys. This is your
you know.
job. It's just something
I don't
I've
know that we're in a
seen,
position to be able to speak on behalf.
and that's fair. Yeah.
Maybe it's legitimate, maybe it's good, but until we're qualified, I don't know. Me and Tom talked about that, and he was like, dude, we're not.
Because it is a fine line. You're in a big corporation. I get that. But if anybody's listening to this,
You know more about it than we do.
I would very much encourage that boundary to be respected. Number one, somebody who disrespects your sobriety or where you're coming from or your second chance in life, if they disrespect it or don't take it seriously, you don't need them in your life.
agree.
Period. The end. As I don't care how much you love them. Most of the people that I've seen come out of these programs that have slid back, or some of them are back in jail, unfortunately, every single one of them did it via this route. They went back to a place they shouldn't have, or they reconnected with a person that they shouldn't have. And they think, well, I recovered, I can fix them. 9 times out of 10, they're going to drag you down versus you dragging them up.
100%.
Yeah.
So you really need to watch that. I just wanted to touch on that because it is, I'm tired of seeing it. You know, the success.
Put your mask on first, right before
It-
the
it-
oxygen mask.
Whew,
thing.
it's put your mask on
Yeah.
first before helping the screaming kid next to
Yeah.
you. But now, as for your personal version, there's a few things there. You said, you know, like, what am I going to make you do? I don't think amends or closure or forgiveness or discussions come with an obstacle course. I'm not going to make you jump through these hoops, because let's look at both sides of the street here. I've been given a lot of grace in my life that I didn't deserve. And it takes two to tango. I'm going to extend that same courtesy and grace to the other person. I may not have the same relationship with you, the same trust. We may not spend the same amount of time. The effort may not be the same. We need to come to a place where we decide, are we good to be in each other's lives, and to what degree? If you are, well, we're not going to go back to who we were 5 years ago tomorrow. So that's going to take time. I want to see how you've grown. You're going to see how I've changed. I need to show you my boundaries, what I expect for myself and what I expect from you, respect-wise. But to put somebody through like a crucible, no, I don't think that's fair. If that's where I'm at, I'm still bitter. I haven't really forgiven you. And what I'm going to do is try to talk it out with you, shake your hand and walk away. We don't need to be in each other's lives. If I'm bitter and trying to make you go through something.
I don't know if I can say it any better, but I do have my own philosophy on it. Always, I always say that I'm in a constant state of letting go, and what that means is if your actions don't align with my morals, boundaries, values, you know what I mean? If I just say I don't like that, and you say, well, too bad, I just say, well, it was nice knowing you, because who am I? I'm a human being just like you, and you have the right to choose how you want to live your life. It's none of my business. What is my business is whether or not I allow you into my circle of influence. If I allow you to have an effect on my nervous system, and if it negatively impacts my nervous system, I just give the old Irish goodbye. And that's that simple. And it's not fun, never fun, but I've just learned it is effective for me personally. Now, as far as coming back, if you at some point say, you know what, I've thought about what you said, and I can see where you're coming from. Hey, can we hang out again? Yeah, absolutely. Zero judgment, 100% grace. I could care less. As long as you didn't intentionally try to burn me, you're 100% in. I could care less. But I don't care about your words. Your words have zero value to me, because your words are a result of the emotion that you're experiencing in that moment. And I always say, never make a decision based on an emotion that you're feeling today that will change tomorrow. So your good intentions are only good in the moment. Once that emotion passes, I need to see if your actions are going to align with your words. If they don't, I just give the old Irish goodbye. I won't say anything. You just never hear from me again.
Is that healthy though?
Well, I don't know. Life's an experiment, and it's my experiment, and I value my boundaries more than your attention.
But you say Irish goodbye. That means you just vanish.
dip
You
out.
just ghost.
I don't try to convince
and
you.
we live in a world of ghosters
No,
because
no,
people
no.
don't have enough
Now you're taking
respect
it to the
and
extreme.
like courage to say, Carlos, you're amazing. This has been wonderful, but we're just not aligned.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
I'm going to go on with my life. And that gives you the chance to be like, oh, they didn't just die, or because people will do that. It's the easy way out to ghost. He doesn't
I mean,
like
I
me
will
saying
communicate that. I communicate it. I'm a really good communicator. I mean, to some degree, it depends on their actions. If they did something shady, they don't deserve me reaching out to them.
Right,
They've
valid.
already shown me,
Valid.
based on their actions, that their interest in me isn't
But what
high
if
enough
it's
for me to
just-
even fight for it.
but
I'm
what
not
if it's-
fighting for something.
But what if it's just a neutral situation? A woman who's expressed interest in you, and you're just like, I'm just not feeling it.
Then I'll
Are
just
you
say
going
it.
to
I'm
Irish
just- I'd
goodbye
rather-
her, or are you going to like
maybe
explain it
maybe
to
that
her?
wasn't. I read a T-shirt today. This Irish Goodbye Champion, and it's on my mind.
I know, you
Okay.
showed me.
But I just let go. It was never mine. She was never mine. It was just my turn. That's the way I look at it. My friendship with you is the exact same way. And for me, it's gotten easier and easier and easier. I let people be who they want to be. It's none of my business. I have no right to you. You are independent from me. I may want this thing over there, and we discuss it. If you don't agree, then no worries.
Do you
But
feel that
everybody's
same
out here
way?
trying to pressure. Everybody's trying to pressure them into bending to their will. I don't. I'm zero pressure whatsoever.
I agree with you both. I think it's situational and it's complex, to quote Nathan.
But some people don't deserve a reach out.
That's my point. If we're seeing somebody that we just don't see eye to eye, I completely agree. It's cowardly to disappear and ghost. I would express whatever needs to be expressed and break ties, you know. However, Nathan has a point. There are some people that are incredibly toxic.
I was about to say toxic
That
is
are
the word.
incredibly, they're
or just
stuck in
by
their
toxic, inconsistent.
way. Or inconsistent.
That's toxic to me.
But I mean, believe how people treat you, right? Their actions. I'm just saying what Nathan said in a different way. There are people that won't take your goodbye, won't take your respectful let's cut ties, and somehow still want to interject themselves into your life or become Nathan adjacent or Joy adjacent. So they're not going to come at you directly, but they're going to become friends with everybody around you so that somehow they're still connected. Those people exist. Yeah, an Irish goodbye, a cutoff in those situations is warranted, because now, I mean, that's going toxic to crazy. It doesn't happen all the time, but do they exist? 100%.
Is that more of a? Do you think more women do what you just described than men?
No,
I know. Men do that too.
I know men and women that are both on that.
That
end.
do that. They go make friends with all the people around you.
I can name
Really?
5 off
Okay.
I won't, but I can.
Yeah, I think it's unfair to generalize men and women when it comes to relationships. I mean, I can separate us. We're different species,
Yeah.
but patterns and behaviors are very similar. It's really hard.
We talk about mountains and wind all the time because he's like, because I'm a woman in every way, and my emotions can be here today and here later. And I'm always kind of cross-referencing with him, like, am I crazy for feeling this way? And what we talk, he's like, well, I'm like, yeah, but you're a mountain, and I'm the wind, and it's supposed to be that way, right?
I always say you're not crazy for how you feel. What makes you crazy is when you react to those feelings.
And I
That's
think
what makes
that,
you
that nervous
irresponsible.
system regulation, that is something I have just learned in like the last year and a half, that's even a thing. Like, oh, it's your nervous system. You got to listen to it. And like right now, my nervous system is super chill, right?
Yeah.
But I will feel times where it's just tight. I don't even realize it's tight. And I'm like, oh, it's the person around me is making that happen. That should tell me just about everything I need to know.
You know, it's from analyzing her and just observing, you share everything with me in
Mm-hmm.
our 1,000 conversations. We drive all over the country, so we have plenty of time to talk about life.
We're like, we're
We
doing a road
wanted
trip.
to do a mobile podcast, but I realized I was just, after years now of listening, I said, I'm convinced that you don't know who you are. Like, we think we know who we are. You are not who you are until you feel something negatively. Until you're starting to feel uncertainty, that's who you really are. That's why I'm just against social media, social dating, because you're portraying a character, the character that you would like to become. And I know it's true because I discovered 20 years ago, Myers-Briggs, people take that evaluation, that assessment for themselves, and they answer it in the way they want to be perceived. And I learned, no, you have to take that with a coworker. It doesn't have to be a best friend. Anyone that kind of knows you, because your friend will say, you don't do that. Bitch, you don't ever do that.
We
You
did
do
his
this. And
autism
you
test
realize,
together.
you realize, oh, I do that.
We
But
did.
you create a character that you want to become. And so that's why I think a year to 18 months of truly getting to know someone before you make a solid commitment. Not maybe you can be exclusive, that's one thing, but before I'm really committed and investing, it's going to take time because that mask is going to melt eventually. And I'm looking for that.
Well, you
Because-
want to see these people in
All
more than
situations.
ideal situations.
And
Who
that
are you
goes
when
for
you're
me too.
sick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That goes for me too. I don't know who I am until I feel the potential loss, and then the true Nathan is sitting there. My nervous system, and that's why me practicing the art of letting go is me not controlling my nervous system, but controlling my reactions to my nervous system, and just saying, "Hey, there's nothing I can do. I can breathe. I can go distract myself. I can go jump on a podcast. But I feel things too. I just choose not to make decisions based on those."
It's probably one of the most powerful things I have learned is regulating my nervous system, working on regulating my nervous system, because I will feel it. And he'll say, I can feel you before you've even said anything. It just radiates out of you. And I'm like, oh my gosh, because you can control your mouth. You can control your face, but you cannot control the energy that seeps out of you. If it's dysregulated, everybody's going to feel it, right? And so that's like my current, like, okay, kumbaya. Like, I've got vibration plates and all these, my hot tub and all these things, just trying to like, and it's not always dysregulation from bad. It could just be, I'm wired for sound because I've been going since 6 o'clock this morning, motivating people. So it's hard to like turn that knob to off, as we go into the evening.
I'll turn that damn thing down. I said, Joy, your anxiety and stress doesn't get to become mine.
Well, so this is, I said this to him today. I had this epiphany because we talked about, I'm very like transparent with myself, right? So I know I like to control the narrative, right? Like that's
I call
the
it
thing.
manipulation.
He's so mean because I'm not.
First day I met her,
manipulative.
I said, you're a master
My
manipulator.
AI says he's wrong to call me a manipulator
I
because
built her
that's a
AI
negative
too.
connotation.
I would like you to ask your AI if it's neuro-linguistic programming.
Okay, I will. Cool. You want me to do that right now? Well,
No,
in a second.
when we get there,
So
put a pin in it.
So I said to Nate, I said, I had this epiphany today because I do. I like to plan things out and like the perfect vacation, my house is decked. You even like my house.
Oh, I
that
love
didn't
your
come
house.
by accident. Everything's where it's at. But I said, Nate, here's the statement. I'm going to give you permission to say to me when it's necessary. Joy, put the pen down. If you say, Joy, put the pen down,
already
that's like a
used it today.
trigger. He did. That's like a trigger to me, like, oh, I did not. Sometimes you don't even realize you're controlling the narrative. But I'm sitting here like, oh, well, maybe they could take index cards and do this and do that, and blah, blah, blah. He's like,
I
put the
told
pen
Joy-
down.
This is what Joy Rich does. So in every, like when she's hosting an event and there's hundreds of people there and everybody's done for the day and she does her thing. We were at the prison the other day and she leans over to me. She goes, "Do you think I should do the thing?" And I'm like, "No, Joy." And Tom
wait,
gets so
shh,
annoyed.
don't say anything. Wait, can I do it?
No, I'm going to do it.
Can I do it?
So
You
today,
can't
we're on
do
the
it
phone
right.
today. We're on the phone
he's
today.
gonna mess it up, Carlos. He's about to
no,
mess it up.
We're on the phone today. And I said, Joy, you have done your part. You have waved your magic wand. You're going to, because this is her baby. And I had to tell Tom, I was like, dude, you got to realize this is her baby. And plus, she has to understand the intricate details of what we're building so she can sell it, because that's our job.
Talk about it,
It's her vision, right? We may be building the architecture in the background, but she made those connections happen. And I told her that today. I said, so Joy, now what you can do is reach out with your
Wait, don't
hand.
use. Wait, Carlos, here. Will you stick your hand out?
Okay.
Brendan, will you stick your hand out?
We're
Do
not
I need to
doing
be
this
away
shit.
from the mic? So
You can
Either
do
one
it
of
this
them's
one.
fine. Will you put your hand out? Okay, now take your hand and put it on your shoulder, your opposite shoulder. And then take it back up. And then put it back on your shoulder. And then take it back up. And then put it on your shoulder. And do that about 3 more times. Give yourself a pat on the back, on the shoulder for being so good, for being so engaged in this podcast.
So I told her, I said, Joy, I'm on Marco Polo. I was like, reach out.
No,
I'm driving down the road.
no.
Yeah.
I get rooms of thousands of people to do that all
That's
the
a
time.
power trip.
Oh, I
That's
know.
a power
It's a power
trip right
trip.
there.
I came up with
Master
it all on
manipulator.
my own in a high school class.
She's
when
like,
I
you
was
are my
kids.
I
puppet.
know.
That's exactly what
I
that was.
call her a puppeteer all the time. It's amazing. It's actually it's what makes us so successful
how I
in
get
this.
people to
Like,
move
really.
mountains,
But I told her, I was like,
That's
Joy,
good.
you need to reach out and do this 3 or 4 more times and give yourself a pat on the back because your work is done. We've got it from here. But it's hard, though, when you build something. I know I've built technology.
When
I've
you
built platforms.
conceive a child and grow
Yeah,
it up, you
it's
can't
hard
just
to
walk
let
away
go.
from
Right.
it.
But
and other
it's-
people are making decisions
Yeah.
that affect
Yes,
that thing that you created.
and it's not done.
yeah.
It's an infant. This infant has a lot of more growing to do to get it to
You have
where
to
it
trust
can
your
serve
nurses or
veterans and it
whatever we
can
are.
serve this and it can serve that. We're just in the very beginning stages, and so it's like the baby's got a lot more growing.
But
to
we
do.
know in industry, I mean, this is what we're good at. We'll make it work. And we will do practice Kaizen, get constant improvement, and it will become great. It will. It has no
It
choice.
already is great.
She's not going to allow it to be anything but great.
That's something we share a lot in common is Friday. The carpet for this place was not done till Thursday night. And the people were showing up on Monday. So Friday, this kid, I've got video.
Friday, William killed me.
He's like,
leg day.
yeah.
And then I had to go and do this
He's
crap all day.
hauling mini fridges on his shoulder and all this. I'm like, Nate, we can get help. He's like, we got it.
No, I told her, I said, Joey, the day before, I said, it'll be done by 12. And I just made that number up. But I always hit my deadlines. And she's like, I was like, it'll be done by 12. We come in, and Yates come in
These
and
men
set
were
the whole room
busting
up. They gave us like a 2 hours advantage. I'm thinking, well, shit, we can relax now.
Well, but
yeah.
then they just get, and so I'm going to take that back full circle. There's a lot of things that Nate has taught me about how a man should be that helps a woman feel safe, right? Because if he says it's going to get done, it's going to get done. He's not just going to, well, it ain't he may kill himself trying to, he will get it
I'm
done.
like Harry Stamper. I've never started a hole. I've met a mark that I hadn't hit. Harry Stamper, you know what I'm talking
No,
about?
I don't, but that was
my
a great
gosh.
impersonation of
Harry
whoever.
Stamper. Hold on, help me, people. Harry Stamper was Liv Tyler's father, Bruce Willis, on where they had to drill the holes.
Oh, Armageddon.
Armageddon.
What
Oh,
a
yeah.
throwback.
Armageddon.
Boy,
never,
what a way to
never
get to
missed
that
a deadline.
one.
Never missed it, and I don't
You
ever
don't.
miss deadlines.
You are the
ever.
most dependable person I've probably ever met, and that's why I can trust that it's something. Like if I say, I was so sick when all that was going on, I was like, Nate, I just need you to handle it. And he did. Boy, he had the painters lined up, the carpet people lined up, the curriculum. And I'm like, okay, I can just sit here and be sick. That is a really strong attribute to have.
I wait to the very
He does.
last
He's a
second.
procrastinator.
Because my creativity, it just bubbles over when I'm under pressure. I am not. I
don't
only
think that that's
function
his
well
best attribute.
like I am zoned. I'm locked. It's how I control my ADD, autism. Like I need to feel a sense of pressure. I need the pressure to be right up against my back and bam.
So then when Boss Lady's like, hey, have you got those 5 videos done? And do you have the, and he's like, oh my God.
It's funny because I hired Garrett because I needed someone to work for. I literally hired Garrett to answer to Garrett because it was a creative job. Like it's so hard being creative for a living.
Yeah.
And our job is nothing but creativity. So I was like, bro, just keep me on track. And he would like, hey, you got this done? I said, let's go to Toots.
Yeah.
And he would just let me get drunk and I would be working on a computer until they closed and boom, magic, pull it right out of my ass every time.
You know, as you're sitting here talking, I'm thinking about like how we balance each other. Because I mean, you've been around us, you see, we're never both wired for sound at the same time. It's usually if one's wired, the other one's chill,
Yeah.
and vice versa. And Brendan's agreeing with this, but because I know how his brain works, I only give him the information he needs to worry about. Like, here's the address of where we're going. He gets me there. He has no idea what the meeting's about. It doesn't matter. I know what it's all about. I know where all the dots connect and all the pieces. He just gets to get me there, and then he gets to leverage his AI, and then he's like, well, that was fun. And then he gets me back. If I were to, my brain is, 200 tabs open, and I know where they're all at. He doesn't have to have all the tabs open.
Well, I have
That's what
my
do.
own tabs open because she's got me in 14 different projects
But
at once.
I do try to protect his brain, though. Of just, I'm just going to give you what
it's a
you
smart
have
move.
to know.
I asked her, I said, Joy, unless I need to know, don't tell me.
Yeah.
I only have so much cognitive bandwidth available.
Yeah.
So protect it. And
But
she
that,
does. a good
that
job
does
with it.
come. I'm just thinking about the conversation I had today of like, sometimes you have to know yourself, like you just said, to be able to communicate what you do need, right? Because we're not mind readers. And so as you know what you need and you say, Joy, I don't need to know all the details. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to give him all the details. I'm going to give him what he needs to know. But he had to communicate that to me. And vice versa. When I'm wired for sound, I'm like, I need you to let me just say all this out. And I don't want you to say anything back until I get it all out. I just need to get it all out. and he'll just listen and let me get it all out.
So
So,
I-
it's really kind of interesting how we've developed that.
I built her an AI that she gets it all out. And this is my AI said. You can tell I definitely built it. But speaking of AI, can I switch gears for a second?
Absolutely.
So I got a text this week, and I won't say from who. But I've been asked, I hate public speaking.
No,
And
you
I've been
love
asked
it.
to sit on a panel for a university and talk about AI and quantum computing. And I'm like, dude, I barely know enough about the people that built the quantum computers don't even understand it. People that built AI don't even understand it. So that's coming up, and I
Yep.
need to text this professor and give her a yes or no.
Oh,
Spy
Man.
will be there.
The spy will be there.
ladies and
Yeah, that was in
gentlemen,
April.
Oh, what did we say about second chances?
we have gone full
I don't know.
circle.
We-
We are
deserves it.
back to a second chance.
This isn't a second chance.
potential.
He's an asset. He is 100% a government asset.
I will
We're
never
gonna get
forget
shut
your
down.
response. I will never forget. He showed me your text when that came about. And you're like, she's a spy.
I'm sorry.
I wish I could
don't
give the details.
No,
No.
you give
No, I know.
nothing here.
Yeah, I know it. But
No.
anyways, I got this event that
But
I've
you
gotta
know
step
the
up and
spy
do.
will be there.
Yeah.
I think the spy invited him.
Should
She
we
did.
go
She
with him to
arranged the whole
protect him
thing.
from the spy? Is that to be friends with all your friends?
You know the
to get
spy.
you back to the
Joy
place?
knows the spy.
I know
Joy
the spy
introduced
and
me to the spy.
I did.
Kinda.
Yeah.
It's
Well, I
almost
saw
like
Joy
what I
talking
said in
to the
real
spy,
life.
and I'm thinking, who's
It's
this
like what you
cute
said in real life
spy?
that people go make friends with your people and get you invited to things to get you there. I feel like you need a chaperone. I don't know that.
Maybe.
I don't know that it's
Well, I was
safe
just
to
gonna say,
let
I'd
you
like
go
for
by
y'all to be
yourself.
there because I don't really want to do it. I hate doing it.
When
but
is this? When is
Hey,
it?
tell
AI
our
convention.
secretary tell our secretary to put it on our calendar,
Yeah.
and I will be there.
Yeah, and let's use the Google Calendar.
Okay.
But yeah, I think I've got an old suit from my security days with some
We'll go
some
be your biggest
gear and,
fans and protect
some
you.
level 4
We-
protection.
We've got some like ear. We can talk.
Oh, I got you covered. We're good. But be careful.
The spy. That's fascinating.
This is turning into the spy who
so,
loves
so
me.
I knew that you had been asked to do something about it, but I did not connect that it was connected.
Yeah, I've
to
been
the
kinda holding out
spy.
because
See,
I
he
thought
was
of-
not giving me
Well,
all
I
the
knew that
information.
I would be pressured into doing it. If I told too many people, they'd be like, you have to do this. And Lucy's over here screaming at me, Nathan, this is why. And Lucy reminds me of all the progress I've made in AI and how I've
So I
leveraged
do
it.
think you need to do the panel, but not so that you can have
Oh,
a
no.
perchance opportunity to reconnect.
Oh,
with
no,
the
no,
spy.
no, no, no. The spy didn't reach out.
Cosine.
It's so funny. I
The
hope the spy doesn't see this.
I hope the spy can
I
read
don't
through the
think
lines
the
and know what
spy-
we
Oh,
mean by the spy.
Don't worry, the spy's not doing it. The entire team that's assigned to you is watching this already live right now, and they're doing analytics on you.
Who's the spy?
You know?
Which spy have they figured out?
Yeah.
that
Come
is-
on.
Which spy has been
Because the
discovered?
spy told me that her biggest concern is that her government will think she's a spy.
Yeah.
Learned that on her
Yeah,
first
because
date.
that's
I
not
mean-
what a spy would say
wouldn't
to throw
say,
you off the
wouldn't you
scent.
say, if I'm a narcissist, like I would talk about narcissists,
Yeah.
right? To try to make you think that I'm not a narcissist. I mean,
It is pretty fascinating. I mean, golly.
I feel like we have to go.
He just likes
When I even
danger.
think-
It's all it is.
I
It
know,
is.
I love
He's a
danger.
thrill seeker,
He's
adrenaline
he's
junkie.
a moth to the flame,
Mm-hmm.
and she's like, "Look, danger, the unknown," and
so
he's listening to
How many
007 in his head.
chances?
We've talked about how normal women are boring to him. Normal women, he gets bored. Yeah, Brennan's over there shaking his head.
I would argue with that.
No.
I like simple,
No. No.
unprofessional women.
That doesn't mean that they're boring. They're feral.
I like feral.
Heavenly
See?
Father, Heavenly Father, be with us on this one. I got to hold back here.
No, let it roll. Let
listen.
it roll.
My brother, I love you. You are full of it right now.
Yes.
Normal, safe, routine
Healthy.
women.
Yeah, I know.
A snore to you, sir.
Yes.
A snore.
Yes.
You like
You know what
chaos.
I do like? No, this is what I
and
like.
difficult situations,
Yes.
Maybe.
challenging things.
I like somebody that knows how to get me to shut my brain off and says, Nathan, we're not doing that. Close your tabs. And I'm like, oh, I can be present. I can have fun. And I can be a child.
Well,
I like
aren't
being
we
childlike.
all going back to our childhood? Like, who in your childhood could tell you to be quiet and sit down?
I have a couple people that do it. And
Uh-huh.
Nathan, stop. We're not doing that right now. I'm like, oh, okay. You don't have to fix the world. Okay, let's just talk about whatever.
But that's not going to be a simple, calm person that's going to do that.
Yeah, I guess the spy is not.
Go on.
You're right. That
Go
was.
on.
Let me
Finish
tell you,
your thought.
out of all the people I've met in my life, that was the most fascinating. I should not be there. I shouldn't have Googled her. Like before our first date, I Googled her and I realized, oh shit.
and she drew you in so quickly.
Oh, like a
And
monster
so
flame, and
hot.
shattered him.
And like, man, you were on fire.
Yeah.
I was.
And that was
Well,
scary
hold on,
because you don't
hold
really
on.
get on fire
Someone
like
that
Like,
has written books on technology and AI, right, has a fascination with AI, and
I did
wants to
introduce him.
pick my brain
Yeah,
on
it's
AI.
true.
I'm like, yeah,
It's
I'm
valid.
in love. I mean,
Right.
It was
you
the
like
first
my mind the way it is because I overwhelm people.
Yes.
I overwhelm people.
She was the first. I'm gonna be fair with you. First person I met in our circles that I'm like, she might
We thought
be
she
able-
was a student.
I was like, she might be able to like hold her own with you in a conversation and not just be like, oh, right? And so I actually made the introduction at this event that we were at. So she might have used me too. I
what a
don't know.
perfect 3-letter agency
right?
adjacent introduction to go to Dr. Joy Rich. And then we'll say,
I didn't
hey,
even want to go.
He
I did
did.
not
Make
want to
the
go.
intro.
To
I
made
it
him
was at a
come.
university. I'm like, I'm tired of being around.
The football game.
Yeah, we had like a booth seat. What would you call it?
Oh yeah, it's
The
like box
awesome
seating.
seats.
Yeah,
box
We
seating.
can't
It
say
was
too
awesome.
much because we'll start.
yeah, then people are going to break it down.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the spy saga continues.
Isn't that
And
fun?
what?
We'll
no,
keep it
it's
alive
not
on
fun.
the
It's not
podcast.
fun because I want to keep you alive.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
And the rest
Like,
of us alive.
Yeah, you know, like
By
now
proxy.
they know. You know, there's a file on me now. There's a dossier on Carlos somewhere. So I need you to go to this thing, knock it out of the park, and then Joy and I are
We're
going
gonna
to
escort you
out.
back out. That's right.
And I mean, I don't care if I got to hold a knife to your
no,
kidneys.
no making eyes.
You
no
are
swapping
out. There is
texts.
no like, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be like, no.
Yeah.
Okay,
Secret
America,
Service.
bye.
They can't stop me.
America,
Oh.
bye.
Yeah,
You'll
America,
get the Irish
bye.
goodbye.
Yeah, the American
because
version.
the power of a woman is a powerful thing.
Seriously, it's like James Bond with like the evil, like really hot
At the end of
temptress
the
spy
day, it's
things,
just
man.
For fun. It's not
It's
even
just
a
for
possibility.
fun. That's
It's
what he
not a
said, and then the
possibility.
broad's trying to electrocute him.
Oh, it is not a possibility.
I will
but
never forget though when you sent that text and he was like, "Carlos thinks she's a spy," and I remember thinking, "Oh,
It was my gut instinct.
Instantly, really
it was
hurt my feelings.
instant." We were together when you
Instantly.
sent it.
We talk about like, listen to that little gut, or you
Yeah.
were talking about body language and stuff.
Yeah.
Or I have friends that I'll be like, I hear what you're saying, but you may want to tell your face
But-
because it's saying something different.
Well, and this woman
Everything.
knew how to
So,
work him.
hold on.
She sat across from him and put her
Look.
hands in his, and she told him she believed in him.
Yeah.
And all
I had a
she
responsibility.
knew what he needed to hear, and boy,
She
I've never.
fed your ego.
She's the only reason I started
folded.
talking about AI publicly because I've kept it a secret for 2 years. I just
You talked about it at Venmo.
Yeah, but
Not the
yeah,
same.
But that was
Not
to
the
get
same.
it built into it. It wasn't like speaking on
Well,
behalf of
here's
how
how
to
I'm gonna bring
leverage
this full circle. We can intellectually know what the right thing is to do in relationships and ourself, etc. But when
When you
you're
feel
in the
something-
real thing and
when
your
you feel
emotions,
something, you're an
kick
idiot.
in. It's like you're like, what the hell am I doing? And you
yeah.
see it in real time that you're like. So I'm not gonna joke you too hard because we've all been there. But your emotional self took over and wiped out every bit of intellect you had. And I kept saying, "Oh no," and you were, "Oh." No. It didn't matter what we said. He felt it. It was his first, like, real. I would say it was the first
You know, it's funny
real
you say
thing
that.
he felt like
Okay,
that.
I tell people all the time, it doesn't matter. So there's 3 states of understanding. You can think something, and I was driving to your house when I made this discovery. I realized there's a big difference between thinking something. It means you're observing, you're curious about it, right? But you're not convinced. So I pay attention when somebody says "I think." I just realize they have a lack of conviction. They're investigating. So you can think, you can believe, which requires some element, some level of evidence, and then some level of faith, right? And so that's a different level, okay? And then you can know something. And then once you know it, you can never believe or think again. But then there's this 4th thing that will completely smother out logic and reason. It's I feel. And the second you feel something, which is important. That's why I always talk about never make a decision based on feelings, but they're important to have because they give you a sense of direction. You got to set with those feelings. You got to talk to your friends. You got to jump on a podcast and put it out there for the world and then reflect on it months later and think, well, I learned a lot there. But yeah, once you feel something, everybody knows what that's like.
You said it, and I've read it, and I had a former boss say it. I was pissed off one day, and I wrote this email, and he was like, "Do not hit send. go home, go to sleep, come back the next day, and then read it. And if you still feel everything that was in it, send it.
Yep.
And I came back and I was like, no, I'm going to delete that, right?
The next, I had an event the other night.
did,
I felt
yes,
something.
yes.
The next day, I was like, never mind, I'm good, Joy.
Well, because there's something to be said for like a sleep cycle. And I think it's like two, if you do two or
One
three.
sleep cycle's
two
good.
sleep cycles. Well, one helps calm it, but like two, like it just really resets your system. So if you're ever just keyed up and you just don't, it's like, go take a nap. Go to sleep. That's what I told him the other day. I said, I'm going to stop chasing all these like things to wind myself. I'm going to take naps, because when a little kid's overstimulated and they're fussing, everybody's like, oh, he needs a nap.
Yeah,
She
it
needs
knocks out.
It doesn't end when you're 4. We need naps sometimes just to reset our nervous systems. I just need to be horizontal. I don't have to go to sleep. I just need to be horizontal. But there is something to be said for giving your brain that time to catch up with everything, because
Naps come back
responsible.
around in your 4 T's.
I'm in my 40s. Boy, I love a good nap, man.
I wished I could do it.
I'm like,
But
it's real.
the spy who loved me over here just needs to be real careful. That's all I'm saying, brother.
Spies and second chances.
Well, I'm just
Yeah.
fascinated with. It's just crazy.
I'm just glad he told us
somebody
about it
like
so he
me.
doesn't go
You gotta realize, man,
unchaperoned.
I'm just a normal person, and I'm connected to all these extraordinary people. I mean, for one, you're one of them,
I
and we
agree.
connected day one. I reached out and said, "You're my new best friend."
He did.
I was thinking, "Bitch, you're my new best friend," but I just said,
But
"You're
she
my
said,
new best
"Hey."
friend."
I don't think so, Scooter.
I'm sorry, Mom. Just kidding. But no, I knew. Oh, we're going to do this. So, and we are.
Well,
We're doing
we
it.
talk
I don't know
about-
what it is, but we're still doing it.
We have these conversations. We say it all the time. I use this phrase. It was a divine appointment, or it was a divine meeting, or it was a divine meaning. God put us together. He knew what
Yeah.
was supposed to come. So sometimes I'll have a impromptu something happens and I'll call him. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just had the best divine meeting. Like, I met this person and this happened. Doors open and things happen. And I think that's key. We have to pay attention to that in our lives. Like when you stop realizing, hey, guess what? We're actually not in control of anything. Really. Like when you zoom out really far back, you're like, what are we even doing? Why are we pin, right? Like just let it go.
It's fascinating. I rejected the education system in the 4th grade, and I become an autodidact, a natural learner. I had a 1.7 GPA, graduated, cheated to get that, had 3 chances to graduate, and summer school. And then here I am partnered up with a brilliant, doctor in education, and it just doesn't seem likely. And that's why my whole world is like so confusing to me. It has to be God. It has to be. So
He uses the most unlikely. Absolutely.
and I used to think, well, why did he take so long? And I realized, it was all those experiences. It was all the loss. It
Yes.
was all those point of references that I discovered. And he had me on a mission. I was on a path. And that's why I can relate. That's why I can become a lighthouse. And it's funny because you were talking to me recently about, you weren't jealous, but you may have been a little bit envious in some people in the connection they have to their foundation and their faith. And I don't want to go too far with this because I know we're going to end, but you were always brought up with Jesus in the center of your life. And most of us went through all these, we found God because we hit rock bottom or whatever it was.
Right.
And you almost were like curious to how that experience.
Well, I made the statement about, as I was growing up, I always thought people had these testimonies of like,
Yeah,
I was
testimony.
down and out. I was all these terrible things. But God. And then they, they turned and they came full circle. God's always been in my life. I'm a preacher's kid. I got saved when I was 9. Like he's always been in my world. And so I don't know a without God feeling. I don't know that desperate.
Yeah.
He's always been with me since I was old enough to know who God
Yeah.
was, right? And so I used to feel that way, but now I'm more like, I feel like that is a testimony in and of itself.
Yeah.
When things go crazy, I have my foundation. Like I'm
Yeah.
always coming back to
But
that.
they're kind of lucky. People that die and come back,
Oh,
like
yeah.
Rocky.
Amazing
Yeah.
stories.
Rocky,
Twice.
right?
Twice.
Rocky.
Yeah.
So I'm always a little envious of people that get that crazy second chance because they
Yeah.
have an emotion. They're connected to an emotion and an experience that I will never get.
Well, I sent you, we were always sending each other these little funny videos. And there was this girl and she had like chronic illness and sick and this, which I deal with all these things, like beat up health wise. And she was like, God obviously had some big plan for me because trying to kill me every which way. And that's how I think a lot of times in my life, like all the different health things I struggle with, it's like, okay, are you trying to kill me? Is the devil trying to kill me so I can't go do the big thing that I need to go do? So it can come at you through different things. It can come at you through mental health. It can come at you through your relationships. It can come to your physical health. When you're destined to do something big, not everybody's happy about that. So sometimes it's good to pause and be like, oh, okay. Like,
Keep fighting the good fight.
and surround yourself with people who will pick you up when you are on your butt.
And call you out,
And call you out.
especially. Yeah, if you don't have that, then you ain't got a friend. I don't have anything else. I
I'm
could go
good.
on all
I'm
night,
happy.
but
I am happy with what we got.
You feel like
here.
you got some good snippets to pull out of this?
There's so much.
So many good snippets.
So
Brenda,
much.
what do you think?
We got a clap from the nephew
He was
back
up there
there.
laughing his butt
I
off.
saw him smiling on several
Yeah.
occasions. Like, oh,
He
yeah,
connected a few times.
You
He
just
sure
nailed
did.
Dad over there. I feel like we need to flip the camera around just to be like,
So his brothers are going to be here. We'll talk about it after, but they're the next couple weeks they're going to be on the podcast.
awesome.
So Carlos, you get to do the switching.
Yep.
I'll have
Nephew's
your
going to
microphone
teach
set
me, and I just want to be in the room.
I do too.
I
I'm
am
kind of
so excited to just be present for it.
It was funny because Dakota, he's killing it in life. And we had lunch yesterday, Brennan. Was it yesterday? And because, I'll upload all the podcasts. They're in an AI. And I let him read from episode 13. Dakota was on it. And he was reading
I remember seeing
through
that
it,
one.
And he was like, oh, my gosh. It was a reminder. It's the power of journaling. And it was a reminder of how he got to where he was. Those ideas he was having 5 years ago,
Yep.
however long ago it was. Like it was just right in
Ye-
his face. He was like,
Nice.
"Oh, I used to say that all the time," and he's been growing. It's awesome.
Well, you are the king of consistency.
Thank you. Good.
You-
Did you hear that?
Nathan Carroll is the king of consistency because the things you say to me daily, regularly, I hear come back up in your podcast. And when I've looked back at your podcast from years ago, I'm like,
Years ago.
he's been saying that for a
I've been
long time. Now,
saying it.
you might refine it as you tweak something, but you are super consistent in
I
what
found
you
some
say.
papers that I had written from years ago, like just full out papers from my journals, and
Yeah.
I was reading through it, and I was thinking, "Holy shit! I've been talking about this stuff for a long
Yeah.
time." But what I use the podcast for in conversations is to refine those
Yeah.
ideas
Yeah,
and
yeah.
narrow them
Yeah.
down to its simplest form. And I think I've narrowed it all down to this. True intelligence is the ability to remove what's unnecessary, and that goes for emotional intelligence as well. Removing people that just don't belong. Let go. It's okay. That's it.
Isn't that a Toyota thing? Didn't we learn that when we were doing that?
No.
He was applying
No, I
all
wrote
these Toyota principles. To
Yeah,
real
I've
life
become
and
obsessed
I mean,
with
if it
lean
works, it works,
principles. Oh my goodness, because
yeah,
it's
I
a
mean, yeah.
proactive
If it works, it
approach.
He
works.
kept
yeah.
connecting it back and forth, and I'm like,
Well, I was like, I have to become an expert on this.
It's like
Well, we
putting
met the
business-
founder of Fame
yeah.
and
a whole
Toyota
other story.
Production Systems, anyways, and I just become obsessed with the psychology behind it, and I thought this is so brilliant. And it applies in everyday life, but it's about self-overcoming. It's about personal growth, and my whole life is about personal growth. The whole podcast exists because of that. And so just documenting it and sharing it, because someday I'll have grandkids and great-grandkids, and they'll get to see, my dad and grandpa was crazy in a good way. Well, that's all I got.
Good job, Nate.
Great job.
Carlos, you
Linda.
got anything?
Wow, loved it. Loved it. Until
Thank you
next
for coming
time.
on, Joy. This was fun.
My pleasure.
You going to do it again? Are you going to be a recurring guest?
Sure.
We almost started a podcast called The Practical Thinkers. We probably shot 3 episodes and never
We
released
probably need to keep that at some point and
Yeah.
keep going.
them. Yeah.
I get
Well,
tired sometimes, though, man. Like
It is.
working all day
This
and
is
then
so
talking.
good though. I was exhausted before this.
Same.
Like I was dead today.
I'm
and
tired
then
now.
I was thinking, am I even going to have the energy? And as soon as we turn on the cameras, bam, I'm
That's
firing.
what drove me here. I know we ended twice. Sorry. Hi, we're back.
And this is
but this is the part of it. But
The
it-
podcast after the podcast.
it's this is afterwards on YouTube or whatever. I was absolutely drained, not by work, by a person at work who was just I've tried to be a lighthouse, but some people like living in a storm.
Let them go.
And sometimes you can't get away.
Mm.
So I've tried to build my own super positive walls and all that. But man, sometimes that storm is raging and it's exhausting doing my job and keeping the storm at bay. I used to try to be a ray of sunshine in the storm.
You're
but sometimes
describing
they
this
don't
photo while you're talking. You realize
sometimes
that?
they don't want to accept it.
Yeah.
And it's not up to me, and that's
Yeah.
fine. That's fine. I'm not giving up on that person, but I also can't let myself be brought underwater by them
Depleted.
either.
Yeah.
And I got here fairly depleted. You know, there was water in my lungs.
Yeah, they'll suck the life out of you.
And then all of a sudden, but what drove me here is there hasn't been a single time, well, maybe, that I've come here, spoken, done this, and not left feeling absolutely better. So
It
works.
energizes you because it reminds you what you've learned, what you know. And as you're talking about it, it's like, oh, you're confirming that, or you're revealing something.
And I'm already
or-
looking forward to the editing of pulling out because there's been so
The
much,
nuggets?
so good. But when you go back and rewatch yourself, I discover things about Nathan. I discover things about our guests. I discover a lot about myself because I did this with Rocky. I sent him a clip and Rocky's response was, I said that? And I start laughing and I'm like, Rocky, you were like you were just knocking it out of the park with the word and God was speaking through you. And he goes, don't remember it, but man, that was good.
That's
So, you know,
awesome.
the one thing that when Joy and I first met, I know we're trying to end it. I said, okay, if we're doing this, we're recording everything.
Yeah.
We're not going to rely on emails. We're not going to rely on conversations. We're recording everything. And she said, let's do it. And she's the first person that didn't think I was batshit crazy. So she trusted me with the videos. And then when I say record everything, she's like, pull out your phone now. Record this conversation. And because, dude, our memories are so ephemeral, they're designed to shed data. So that's why I record everything and store it. It's preservation over profit. My life's vision, goal, preservation over profit.
Well, it retains the knowledge, but it tells the story too. And the reason we're able to push so quickly is because we have the story to tell.
Yeah.
We can show it, we can speak it. That's how we move. So like people are like, how'd you get that whole building? I've been trying to get that. And he's like, you don't have a Dr. Joy Rich on your team. And that all that means is I have a story I can tell. I can convince you why we need this space because I can tell you what the vision is and you can see it, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
But that's what I refer to him. I was like, well, he tells the story. He's my storyteller. That's one of his things.
Well, you weren't even there, but when I was negotiating with him, I was like, listen, it can't look like this. We cannot represent our company. This is going to be on camera. The governor's going to see this. We cannot have a shithole. It's got to look nice. I'm going to advertise. We're going to brag on your company. Like, you're going to be a part of this. The world's going to see it. And they know because that's how we do everything.
Yeah.
Everybody sees the videos. And now she makes videos constantly,
my
little
little
reels.
reels.
I love it. And now in Mississippi, the team down there is
them
making
making
reels.
reels.
I'm so proud. I feel like a proud papa seeing people advertise their effort. I don't care what you do for a living. Put it in a video. It drives me crazy. My son's working for a media company, growing like crazy in this company. And I'm like, why are y'all not communicating with videos? This is what you're communicating with the public. Why wouldn't you communicate internally? It drives me crazy.
It's amazing how many people I'll run into that I haven't seen, in a decade, but they feel like they know me. They know my child. They know what she's doing. They know what I do for. I ran into somebody the other night, and they were just like, "Oh, all the stuff you're doing at Nissan." I'm like, I haven't seen this joker in a decade. I couldn't tell you what his name is, but he saw me at the Grindstone Cowboy. He and his wife, and he knew everything. And I'm like, oh, it's
And
my
they may
little
not
reels.
even like it, but
It's my
people
little
watch it.
But people
Yes,
watch it.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'd
they
never
do.
seen him like come up on it. But even if subconsciously you're watching, you're learning about people through that. So it really does make a big hit. Like you have fans that you don't even realize you have.
It's so flattering.
That's
dude.
with
I'm
your
getting more
podcast, you
comfortable.
have- He's
getting
I'm
better
not as
with it.
self-conscious. I'm not as self-conscious as I was, and he knows that I never like posting because I
Right.
get uncomfortable. But
You like to work in the shadows.
I do like to work in the shadows, but I have a responsibility to post the things too.
And you
I
like
do.
to, and you build systems. You tell me all the time. You cast visions, I build systems to support.
And I cast visions that are systems related, not publicly facing. They support the visions that you are casting.
Well, even you're strategic. Who comes on your podcast? You're strategic about like not what's talked about, but it does always come back to relate specifically. It's usually like professional and personal and spiritual, like all mixed together. So,
Well, that's all I got. Until next time. So long, friends.
bye.